Many people consider the first Nightmare to be the best of the franchise. But when fans talk about their favorite, Dream Warriors almost always comes up.
So which movie deserves the top spot?
To find out, we're about to rewatch, review, and rank the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, one film at a time.
Today we're covering A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Is this really the movie that almost killed the franchise?
First and foremost, we got to talk about the Freddy factor. As you all know, Freddy evolves over the course of the franchise. So how is he in part 2 versus part 1? He's still very evil with a sprinkle of comedy in there. He's also still pervy.
I personally like this Freddy much more than the first one. He's more menacing. I think he's much more aggressive.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree. I think that Freddy as a whole, if you're just looking at him, he's definitely more menacing and has a stronger presence. But what's missing is the kind of dark, evil undertones of the first film. If you were to match those two, he would have been absolutely monstrous in part 2.
And I think that has to do a lot with Wes Craven not being a part of the second movie.
Yeah, it's everything for sure, because I mean, the whole vibe of this film is different. But I do like how it didn't affect Freddy, it affected everything else.
Yes.
Which, fun fact, Robert Englund almost did not play Freddy Krueger in this film. They were going to use somebody else, and then they realized, just like we all know today, you can't have Freddy Krueger without Robert Englund.
We enter the movie with the main character, Jessie, on a bus. There's other kids on the bus, and we get a peek at Robert Englund for the first time without makeup.
And one thing that I noticed about Jessie in the bus that you don't figure out until later on is he looks very different. He looks tired, distressed. His eyes are dark. His hair is dark and combed flat down on his head.
Yeah, it's matted to his head.
And the bus scene is arguably one of the most memorable scenes from this movie because it's the first scene. Again, we start out in a dream, just like the first film. The whole school and nightmare aspect thrown together it's terrifying. It's kind of funny though, because again, this is supposed to take place in the Midwest, yet we're driving into the desert. And that dude is flying on the bus. You would be fucked up in real life if you were a passenger on that bus.
Right.
The ground starts crumbling around them, and we end up on what we didn't know what was called until recently, Dante.
They're called hoodoos.
So the bus is standing on 2 hoodoos and eventually balancing on 1 hoodoo.
Yes.
It's a pretty wild dream sequence. He literally wakes up and screams.
The best scream of all scream queens, because he's a queen.
Yeah, you could say that. One of the first things we see after the bus scene is he goes outside and he looks through the basement window and he sees Frederick Krugerson messing with the fire.
Diddling with the fire, if you will.
And he decides to go inside and scope out what's going on. And he opens the basement door and then immediately decides it's probably a good idea.
Sees the shadow, shuts the door.
Jessie starts screaming for his dad.
Freddy pops up.
And Freddy says,
Daddy can't help you now. Shh. I need you, Jessie. We got special work to do here, you and me. You've got the body, I've got the brain.
And I love them showing Freddy peel his skin back and show his brains. That's really cool too. I always remember that.
Which was a much better peel scene than the face in the first one.
What, you don't like the fucking eyeballs?
I'm just saying, we're reviewing this and we're going to rank it at the end. So I'm telling you.
I gotcha.
That is much better than the first one.
I agree. And then we got to talk about the snake scene. Me personally, I hate this scene. I think it just could have been cut. It wasn't necessary.
It's better than the bird scene.
That's a good point. It is better than the bird scene. They're about equal to me, but he falls asleep in class. Teacher's talking about a heart. He wakes up with a snake.
This is just building some kind of bonding between him and Grady.
That's true. It was necessary for the bonding, but what I don't like is the snake scene is the beginning of more stupid, not gory, not evil type of scenes, like the bird, the toaster, and all that. One thing I do like about that scene is the way Grady laughs after Jessie flips him off.
Yeah, that was great. I love their chemistry. Those two work very well together in this movie.
They do. This is also a memorable scene where things start to melt. He's got a baseball helmet lamp that melts. There's a candle melting. And then you see a vinyl record actually melting off the dresser. And fun fact, it takes about 300 degrees to melt a vinyl record. And there's your shit you didn't need to know for the day.
Jessie ends up going downstairs and he ends up in the basement. This is shortly after they discovered the diary And I'm assuming he read the entire diary. He read all that. That's how he formulates who Freddy is.
And then Freddy tries to get him to try the glove on. And he looks like he's about to do it for a second. And then he tosses the glove.
Yeah.
We already mentioned the shitty bird scene where the bird
on bird violence.
Because the dad says, what is it? Like 90 some degrees.
97 to be exact.
Bird cage starts shaking. He pulls the cover off. One of the birds drops down dead, attacks the dad, pecks him in the head. Oh no, attack of the killer birds.
Yeah.
I do love the dad's potential explanation for what happened to the bird.
It's that cheap seed you've been buying. You use a goddamn cherry bomb.
So now we're roughly 35 to 36 minutes into this movie. We see our first kill scene.
Jessie goes on a stroll randomly in the middle of the night for a beer down at Don's place, full of bondage and freaks.
And how does a kid in high school get a beer?
Right. So his coach catches him in the bar, and apparently he's not happy. So he takes him to the gym. Time to run laps, buddy. Coach is in the back equipment area. Stuff starts flying. And then there we have a set it like a jump ropes, wraps around his arms and drags his ass into the showers. And Jessie kind of looks over and sees him being held up. And this is another one of my favorite scenes is you see all the steam in the bathroom and it slowly covers Jessie and then appears Freddy. It's like Jessie is Freddy, Freddy is Jessie. He slashes him in the back and he dies basically immediately. After Freddy slashes the coach, it shows Jessie standing there with the glove on. And then he shows up at home butt-ass naked with the 5-0.
Tell you what he needs. He needs a methadone clinic.
Jessie gets up to inspect his dresser drawer, pulls it open, and finds Freddy's glove moving and scratching around. Makes his way to his sister's bedroom, opens the door, and he sees the little girl jump roping, singing, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And literally just closes the door like, nope, I'm
Not
good.
today.
Not today, Frederick. His girlfriend, Lisa, suspects that he has some sort of a like psychic connection, that he's like seeing things that are going to happen, and actually ends up taking him to where Freddy used to work, this big ass like power plant factory, to see if he feels anything.
She digs up actual newspaper records from when Freddy was caught and all that, and you get to see them while they're sitting in the car, which I thought was weird that in the first one, Nancy and everybody else had no idea who he was, but now is that easy to find out who Freddy was.
And they don't show like how she found it, what she did, like how hard was it or not hard was it to get it. So, but yeah, he doesn't feel anything at this factory. We just see rats.
Yeah, he goes to like a cabinet, an old metal cabinet, and opens it, and it's a rat. Directly after this scene, like it just cuts right to first person, Jessie being in the basement, walking up the basement stairs, going through the house, walking up into the upstairs. And then we see him open his sister's room.
Which I think is one of the creepiest scenes, and not really in a good way. He's like shirtless, waking up his little sister, like, wake up, little girl. I don't know. I just feel like, I guess the scene works.
It only works because he goes to tuck her in and realizes he has the glove on.
Well, and I think knowing that they were going to push Freddy's character in the like chomo lane, it made it a little awkward for me.
It was a little awkward.
So Lisa's throwing a party, Jessie's girlfriend. They end up in the cabana. They start to do a little fooling around, feeling up and whatnot. And then Freddy's signature move, out pops the long old tongue. Nasty ass fucking, let me lick your fucking butthole. I don't know. It's just so extreme to me, dude. It's like, why is it always this tongue? Why is he trying to lick everything all the time? And it's nasty looking too. And he kind of just like goes back in his mouth and he takes off. He's like, yeah, I got to roll, bro.
And then the funny part is he jumps automatically into bed with Grady.
What the fuck you doing in my room?
I don't know.
Jessie tries to explain to Grady that somebody's trying to get inside of his body. And he's like, yeah, it's a female. And she's back at the cabana. And you're trying to sleep with me. So another little hint there. And just like any other time so far in these films, when somebody who's being taunted by Freddy tells their friend, I need you to watch me when I sleep, they don't. They just go to sleep.
And as soon as he does, he starts to change.
Freddy's claws start to pop out of the tips of Jessie's fingers. It's like he's Jesse's coming from out of inside of him. This is one of my favorite like practical effects scenes. I know I say that a lot, but like this one really does stand out because to make Freddy come outside of Jesse from inside of his body, I can't imagine what that took. I thought it looked pretty good. I really like when he opens his mouth and you can see Freddy's eyeball in the back just kind of looking left and right. That is massively creepy, dude. And he claws his way out of Jesse's stomach, and then his body just kind of falls to the ground.
Grady's been screaming for his dad the whole time. It cuts to Freddy choking Grady by the neck, and then outside the door, his dad's pounding, trying to get in, and then all you see is the claw going through the door.
Immediately after he kills Grady, he looks in the mirror, and Jesse sees Freddy as his reflection. And then the camera pans back, and one of my favorite visuals from the whole movie is Jesse in his shirt unbuttoned with blood, with the glove on. That could be a pretty cool Halloween costume. I wonder how many people would get it. You just have to have the hair, though. You got to have Jesse's hair, man.
Jesse now runs back to Lisa's house. She answers the door. He's covered in blood. He admits to killing Grady, the coach. He admits to almost killing his little sister. Now we're at the pool. The water starts to heat up. The beer starts to pop, and the hot dogs are catching on fire.
Scary.
Lisa pulls out the diary and starts to read from it.
She's basically letting Jesse know that Nancy wasn't crazy and that there's a way for him to fight him and stop him, because Nancy basically says in the diary that she created him. She gave him the power and the energy, and that it can be taken away.
So I don't know if her reading the diary triggered something, but Jesse starts to say that he's transforming again. Freddy gets a little hungry, takes a bite out of her leg. All of a sudden, all the kids are outside. Freddy pops up out of the ground like he just jumped on a fucking trampoline with dynamite under it. Here's Johnny.
Yeah, and all the kids are like spreading out. And it's funny too, because one of the kids approaches him as Freddy. At this point, he's still Freddy, and he's telling him to, hey, calm down. Nobody's going to hurt you. And again, you cannot tell me if somebody who looks like Freddy Krueger, who just heated up the pool, made hot dogs and beers explode, you're going to try to reason with them?
Help yourself, fucker! You are all my children now.
Lisa's dad comes out, starts shooting his shotgun at Freddy, and then Lisa comes out with her mom, tries to stop him. Why would she be stopping him if it's some crazy lunatic that looks like Freddy?
Right.
Once again. But then she stops him. He kind of looks back at her, just walks toward the fence, and then just disappears into it. And in my opinion, this is where the movie takes a turn for the worst.
Yeah, normally this is where I lose interest and hit stop.
I don't understand why he disappeared. It's really confusing to me. It just goes into some kind of a supernatural aspect.
Right. And again, you're wondering, like, is this what Jesse is seeing? Like, he thinks that he disappeared, but then why did the dad say, where did he go? Yeah, just, it's a little messy there.
We could say that he got out through somewhere else, but why didn't any of the kids get out when they were trying to climb the fences
None
and all that?
None of them could get out, so how'd he get out? On to the hell house.
God.
Lisa's back at the factory.
They look like fucking garbage pail kid faces on fucking Rottweilers.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of those when I was younger. I'm still not a big fan. I respect what they probably had to do to make those things, but they really weren't scary to me.
I originally thought like from this scene on, maybe it's because she's near the boiler room where all of Freddy's power is, but at the same time, we both think that maybe it's Jesse still watching, and it's from his perspective, and he's seeing all this stuff, and maybe she just sees like a rat or a mouse or something.
He may be just formulating these memories of perceiving what's happening on her way in. Like when she walks in, she probably sees these two dogs with like baby faces and like, you know what I mean? So another little corny little creature on there is the Hellcat, which was kind of wild as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of goes along with the dogs, I feel like.
Yeah, and then her wound was covered with ants, and then she looks up and back down, and then it's recovered again. And
again, we have another thrown together ending, sort of like the first one.
This is absolutely when this movie feels like it was just rushed and trying to just wrap it up as quick as they can. Now, the ending, we're on the catwalk, and it's like Lady and the Tramp. Too bad, like, he didn't spit his tongue out, and then they started to, like, chew on it together to get close. It's I love you, bitch. And then fucking I love you, and oh, I love you, come get me, and all this other shit.
Jesse's dead. We'll both die.
Shit starts catching on fire, knobs are turning, and
Basically burns Freddy's outer side shell off of him, and you're left with a charred and scarred Jessie. I don't mind that little part there, but right after that, he's immediately on a bus. Like, man, glad all that's over. I'm like, ain't no way these people just died and all this stuff happened, and he's just going to school and everybody's cool with it. Well, now we're back into the whole like dream or not dream territory.
I think they just stole that so they could have an ending from the first one. It was almost like the same scenario, but a different scene.
They're trying to calm Jesse down because he keeps thinking that the bus is speeding up and that he's going through the same thing he went through at the beginning of the movie. And she tries to tell him that everything's okay. And that's when Freddy shoves the glove through her and we fade to black. So we both agreed that in the first Nightmare, we liked all of the supporting characters. In Nightmare 2, I think who played the role sort of the douchebag, kind of like Rod in the first film, which was Grady, was much better because he was kind of the douchebag, but likable enough to where you didn't just hate him the entire time. He had such great chemistry with Jessie. Like, those two actors worked so well together. Their characters worked well together.
I personally love Grady. He's probably my favorite douchebag.
Yeah, and then as far as Jessie goes, I know he's not a supporting character, but like, I didn't like him growing up watching this film. I really didn't care for him that much, but now
I appreciate
and respect.
Yeah, he did a great job in this movie.
Yeah,
100%.
I think they casted it perfect, and it's a shame that he dealt with so much backlash over the whole homosexuality thing back in the day, because he's a really good actor, I think.
He's no Nancy, but
No.
His scream far surpasses anything that she did, in my opinion. But her acting and what she did for the series is untouchable.
Yeah. Well, he's got more of a like...
I don't think she even screams all that much.
He's more intense about everything.
Yeah.
He's more emotionally vocal, I guess, about it all. So
if we're comparing those two, then we have Johnny Depp's character, and then we have Lisa. Who did a better job in that, in your opinion? Because, I mean, it's different sexes, but it's a little interesting.
I would almost call it a tie, because I think they both played their role exactly how they were supposed to. Now, Johnny Depp has always had a special energy when he's on film, and I think his performance might be more memorable compared.
Just because of who it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, Lisa didn't die, and I think that makes a difference.
Yeah. Lisa, I feel, was more loving and caring than Johnny Depp. He was kind of just like, whatever, like, I love you. You're not crazy, but you might be.
Right. Then you have the mom and dad. The dad was kind of a dick. Like in the last film, I feel like they all kind of just play their role and they do it well. There's no one character or actor in this movie that I feel like holds it back at all.
No, I agree with that
So
too.
I would almost say that if I was to score them, I would score them exactly the same as the first film supporting characters. When we talk about the whole vibe of this film, visually, how it feels, the energy of the environment, this one is a lot less evil. That's one of my complaints about this film. Yes, when Freddy is on scene, it's terrifying when they're in the factory, but like overall, the first film feels like going in the basement at night, and the second film is like walking through an abandoned house in the daytime. That's my best way, I think, of describing it.
I feel like this movie made me appreciate and enjoy Freddy as a character more than the first one. I feel like the first one, the storyline and everything together, it was better put together. Everything just flowed. It had a nice flow to it and worked well.
It's a totally different feel, though.
Completely
different.
The feel is completely different, and the last 20 minutes of this second one just destroys it for me. And as a child, 2 was my least favorite by far.
Always. We really wanted to give this film a chance, and that's why we have to consider all these different aspects of it. And one thing that bothers me, and I think this goes right along with atmosphere, music is so important to a film. I'm not going to say that the background music was terrible, because since the feel is so different.
I don't think that it not having the original Nightmare theme, I don't think it takes away from the movie. I personally like the music in this much better than the first one.
There wasn't a whole lot of kills in this movie. We had a couple random ones at the pool party.
There
Coach
was
Schneider, we had Grady.
kids at the pool party, and that's it.
That's it. They weren't as important in this movie, to me, the kill scenes. The few that were important, they did their job, I guess. There was nothing over the top about them. That's one thing, if you compare the first film to this, the kill scenes, they're not even on the same planet.
No, nowhere.
Not even close. But
I agreed with that.
I mean, technically, when Freddy comes out of Jessie, that is the closest you get to what the kill scenes were like in the first film.
I agree with that as well.
Final thoughts.
As for this killing the franchise, I don't believe today it has the potential to kill the franchise. Back then, it might have been questionable. It must have been boring to us when we were children.
Yeah, because we were looking for the Freddy that we wanted. It felt like a hiccup in the middle. It was like the song you skip on the album, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I appreciate it more now that I'm looking at it in like a historical sense.
I messaged him late night one night when I was watching this for like the third time in a row, and I'm like, bro, I might like this is blasphemy, but I might like Nightmare 2 more than the first one.
But here's the thing. I would argue and say that it's circumstantial, because you always have, number one, whichever one you watch the least becomes better later on in life because you've burnt the other ones out. I'm not saying that's why you feel that way, but it's an adding factor that you always have to consider. We're older and more mature and able to appreciate it for what it is, because I also like this movie more than I ever did before. The score I would have gave, or the grade I would have gave as a kid versus today, is very different.
Mine as well. This would have been like a D- had I been a kid.
It might have even been an F for me.
But today, can't believe I'm saying this, but I give it a B-.
Holy shit. No way.
I am serious. I enjoy this movie.
It does give you like an amount of mystery that we didn't care about when we were kids. We just knew that it was different and it pissed us off. Now we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, this second one, there was a lot of mystery in it. The first one, you just know they went to sleep, Freddy came, tried to kill you.
Yeah.
This one, you're trying to put the pieces together.
Right. Today, I would give it a C. A solid C, though, I would say. C's aren't bad. I mean, if I'd have got a C back in school, I'd have been happy about it.
Yeah, he got a lot of F's.
I did.
And no-shows and NAs and...
F for Freddy.
Mm-hmm. Since I was a kid, I noticed a lot of weird things in movies that people don't normally notice. Jesse goes into the kitchen and he passes the telephone, and then there's a little chalkboard on the wall. If any of you guys have ever seen that or caught that, can you make out the writing on there?
Like, what's your best guess if you don't know for sure? Now, obviously, they purposely put something different on it each time because it does change. Does it mean anything? I don't know. Please comment below and let us know your best guess. So another question I have for you guys, this is silly. Be honest, don't lie. Have any of you ever replicated Jesse's dance when he's cleaning his room?
I love that scene. In my notes, I wrote that I love this scene. I wrote down the woman's name that sings it and everything.
Somebody out there has done it, and I want to know who you are, because I want to know who you are.
And if you're a real fan and you love our channel, send us a video at
contact@channel116.com.
and we will send you a free t-shirt if you do the dance for us.
And we'll give you 3 free giveaway entries for whichever giveaway you want to enter in. Because I don't think anyone's going to do it. But if somebody does, you fucking deserve it. And that's a wrap for Freddy 2, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate your time. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you can follow along with the rest of the series as we continue to cover the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Until next time, I'm Stanley.
I'm Dante.
This is Channel 116. Out.